Alright guys, Elite here, and I think it's about time we have sort of an all-in-one tips and tricks video for IDARB so we can have better matches online. You know, I've gone over the fart dash already and kind of the starting points, but I'm going to use this video to kind of flesh out more than just the start and stuff like that, so let's jump on into it here. Alright, so the first thing, we're gonna go over the start again, just because I want to have it all in the same video. Without fizz on, I think the fastest way is to down A at the start, like right here. As soon as you fall off this, you want to hit down and A, because that allows you to fall faster. This can also be used for other things, but it's kind of the best way to allow you to jump faster. So let's just go ahead and get in so we can get another start here. So without fizz, I believe that's the fastest way to get to the ball. It usually results in a collision of sorts here, but you know, that's to be expected since everyone is going for the ball. Now, with fizz on, you have two options. Now, right now, fart dash is the fastest way, but I'm going to go over the regular dash first, which is a giant failure. Wiggle the stick a couple times, and then boost over. And now you want to fall real smoothly right here between these two. You don't want to hit this gray one here, and you just want to kind of wiggle your way down. It takes a little bit of practice to perfect it, but once you do, I'm pretty sure that's also the quickest way with dash. Just a couple wiggles and then boost. So yeah, as you can see, I hit the nice little gray wall here. I do that a lot. Getting to the ball isn't really my specialty, but I think that's the fastest way. Now, obviously, the fart dash is actually the fastest way. To do the fart dash, you wiggle the stick a couple times, hit the bumper, and then followed by the trigger immediately. And that allows you to do the almighty fart dash. Now, in order to get it right, so that you can get to the ball, because if you don't do it right, you're going to end up shooting off the platform. I'll show you what I mean. See how I ended up over there? What you have to do is the white platform, you have to wait until you hit that and get about 2/3 of the way over before you use the fart dash. And then hold down on the analog stick when you do it, with maybe a little bit of a forward tilt, but mostly down. It'll allow you to get right to the ball as fast as possible. See that? I almost got to it in 2 seconds. So right now, that's the fastest way to get to the ball, is the fart dash. Hit it 2/3 of the way over and hold down, and you're automatically on the ball. You can score in about 3 seconds. It's real quick, especially if you know the two shots that I'm going to go over later. But that is your fastest way to get to the ball right now. Since fart dash can't be turned off on its own, if physics are on, you're going to want to go with that fart dash. I'm not going to mess it up like that, but that's okay. So yeah, the fart dash, you want to hit about right here before you use it, because otherwise you'll burst off and hit this, or I mean you'll shoot over here. So you want to wait till you're about right here. That's when you want to use it. It's the best way. It's the most consistent way I've found to get it to work properly. So those are your options off the start. Another thing without physics, you can drop down here to this purple platform and get the ball, but I don't think that's as fast. So it's just, I mean, it's another option. I've also had people that, without physics, will jump up here and come down through this hole. There's a benefit to that where you can drop down and bounce on your opponent's head to reverse their controls, but I'm not consistent with that at all, so I don't go with that. So I think that's it for the start. So now we're going to get into movement and jumping and dashing and all that stuff. So we've discussed that you have two forms of dash with physics on. You have just the stick wiggle and a boost, which is just the trigger. I mostly use this one, to be honest, because as long as you jump before you do it, you can get pretty far. It allows you to cover a lot of ground. The only situation I use the fart dash in is if I need to cover a whole lot of ground. Like if I was to mess up a jump so bad that I ended up down here by myself and I had to get up towards the goal, that's when you would use the fart dash. But if you keep your jumps, you know, somewhat under control and you need to block a shot, you can use the dash Now, one of the most important things in this game, especially with the physics turned off, and the reason I'm going over physics being off is because we're not sure how the tournaments are going to be played yet. So I figure I might as well cover it all. Is hitting your jumps, you know, jumping on the platforms and things like that. Obviously, you hold down and A, well you hold down and hit A to fall through the purple. Now you can basically hold down A from any kind of height, fall right through it. The thing that's tricky is sometimes you want to fall faster, but you don't want to go through the platform, so you're just going to want to tap A while holding down to make sure you don't fall through it by accident, which I end up doing a lot because it just happens that I mess up my jumps and I end up in a bad position. But yeah, definitely, like, if somebody has the ball and they're running this way, you're definitely going to want to make sure you hit your jumps right, because it's going to be the only way you're going to be able to catch them with physics off. If you have it on, of course, you can just dash up there, which is easier. But you got to perfect your movement in this game, because if you miss your jumps, you're going to allow people to line up high point shots. So you have to really practice your jumping and just really get it down. You know where all the platforms are, because sometimes they won't be on screen, but you still need to use them. Like right now, you can't see the middle, but I know it's there. So that's another thing you're going to want to learn, is the layout of the arena, which it's pretty simple. I mean, obviously both sides are the same. So that's another thing you got to learn. Perfect your jumps and learn to dash and fart dash if you want to use them. Obviously, like I said, your fart dash should, in my opinion, be a desperation, because it's somewhat difficult to control, but it'll cover a lot of ground. So if you're seriously out of position, you can use that to regain position. But mostly, I just use the normal dash, because, like I said, it's more controllable, and you can get to, most spots using it. But if you're, let's say someone's up here, right? Let's get the ball now. Alright, fine. Well, whatever. Somebody's up there setting up the 15-pointer or 25-pointer or whatever it is, and you need to get up there. You can use the fart dash to get all the way up to the goal and block it, or it's to the point where if you jump into it, you can get all the way up to where they are with the ball. So utilize the fart dash when you need to, but I recommend using the regular dash, because as you can see, it's a lot easier to control where you're going. But all in all, the movement in this game comes down to perfecting your jumps and effective dashing. So learn those and you'll be in pretty good shape. The next thing I want to go over is offense. Probably the most important, because if you can't hit your shots, you're not going to be able to win. You can dash and jump all you want, but if you cannot hit your shots, you're not going to be able to win. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new game here, and we're going to get these shots going. Alright, so the first shot you're going to learn is, it's a super high percentage shot. You can make almost 100% of the time if nobody's playing defense. You just run up to this gray wall right here, hit it, and then jump, right? And you want to basically, right before you hit the top, you want to hit the trigger. And it's a 5-point shot, and you can use it if somebody, goes to grab the ball, runs over here, and then falls through the platform without grabbing it. That's a super easy shot to make and get 5 points off of. You just gotta make sure you shoot right before or right as you hit the top. That way, you're pretty much guaranteed to make it in. Now, if you really practice it enough, you can end up getting 10 points out of it by bouncing it off the front of the goal. I'm not super consistent with it, but I've seen people that are, and it's a really effective way to get, points. A solid 10-point shot from the start. That I obviously can't demonstrate right now, but it's easy to do. You can get lucky with it sometimes. Maybe if you don't go all the way to the wall, if you do it from maybe here, get it. But anyways, the point is, you can get 10 points right off the bat there, and it's probably the highest percentage shot in the game. So I recommend learning it and learning the timing of it. That way you can hit that shot whenever you need to. Another quick shot that I'm not very good at is the one where you run off the platform. I need to score in the other goal because I am on fire and it makes the platforms disappear, which is weird. So you run over, grab the ball, and drop down, and then you run to the edge of the purple platform, and there's a shot you can make where you just aim up and you can make it right there. You just gotta get your aiming down. I have trouble making this shot, but it's another 5-pointer that you can make really fast if you perfect it, especially without physics on. Right there is the perfect spot. Take note of that, and it's a quick, like I said, it's a quick shot you can land. See how fast it is if I hit it. Can't see it right now, but yeah, it's a super quick shot you can make if, like, again, if somebody's out of position. Shot to make. So those are two easy 5-point shots that you can make. The next shot I want to discuss is it's another 5 or 10 pointer, but it's a little more difficult timing wise. You're going to jump up here on the opposing platform on your side, and you're going to jump, and then I think it's right after you hit the top is when you want to pull the trigger, or right as you hit the top. Right as you hit the top, pull the trigger, and make sure you're on probably the last block here. Right as you hit the top, pull the trigger, and you can get a 10 pointer out of it, as I just did there, or it'll be 5 points depending on your timing. But it's a shot that you can make. You don't have to be lined up perfectly. Like, you could probably shoot it from back here and make it, as long as you do your timing right. I did it there, obviously. But I recommend from the edge block, jumping up, and right as you hit, shooting it, getting yourself solid 10 or 5 points. It's a little riskier shot, but sometimes it's tricky to defend because it's so high. So I recommend learning it, and if you practice it, you can get into position really quick, and that will definitely help increase your versatility from all over the place. Now, another 5-point shot you can hit is from down here. Some people don't jump and they just shoot it from down here, and I don't find that very easy. But if you do, I just shoot from the corner of the billboard down there, the corner that's farthest away, and aim it up towards the goal. It's not too hard to make. Apparently, it's a little more consistent than I thought. But that's another 5-pointer you can make. There's another one from down there that involves jumping that I find a little bit easier. Apparently not. But usually I find it pretty easy. Jump to the corner of that purple platform right there. You can see me clip it, and then just shoot it up towards the goal, and you should be able to make it pretty easily and pretty consistently if you practice. So those are two 5-point shots that you can make. I think those are all the 5-point shots that are easy. Sometimes you can get tricky with them and make 5-point shots from elsewhere, but those are the ones that I know, and they're really helpful and should be a staple in your game plan. So use those, learn them, practice them, do the whole thing. That way, you've got a full arsenal of 5 to 10-point shots you can make. The next shot we're going to discuss is the 15-point shot. Now, there's 2 ways you can make this, but I'm only good at one of them because, honestly, I don't practice this game. I just kind of wing it and hope for the best. So I'm going to show you the one that I know the best, that I can explain, and then I'm going to tell you how I think the other one's done. Alright, the first one, you're going to line yourself up right here where the purple meets the gray and shoot it up towards that the white platform. And if you can get it to bounce off the other purple, small purple, you can get a 15-pointer. I think the trick here is momentum, but you just up and towards the platform there. I'm blowing it, but there you go. Sometimes I don't aim high enough, and that's why I miss. So if you don't hit this platform, if you don't hit this one here, you're not aiming high enough up, and it's going to just bounce over here. One thing I would recommend is learning where the shots go if you miss, so that way you can chase them down and get ready to be in position for it. But this is the 15-pointer that I know. I think there's one where you jump here and bounce it into the ground. It's like that one, but it bounces off the front and gives you a 15-pointer. It's that, like I said, that one I don't know, but it is a thing, so... Oh, look at that. There you go. There's another 15-pointer for you. Might be faster, maybe more consistent. I'm not sure, but use that one as well. So those are the 2 15-point shots you're going to want to learn. Take notes on the ones that I make, my positioning, and learn that, and that way you can make those easily. You hop into position and you should be able to make them really quick. And so those are the 2 15-pointers. I think there's only 2. Not 100% sure. So the next shot is It's a 25-pointer that's super difficult to make. You're going to jump up here and barely get on the platform and bounce it off the gray. It goes off the white, and then you have to use your trigger to boost it in and hit it off the edge like so, and that'll get you 25 points. I recommend only trying this if you caught your opponent severely out of position because it's so tricky. But if you can pull it off consistently, it's a huge shot to be able to make, especially if you're behind. So like I said, I recommend you check that out. So you got a 15-pointer and a 25-pointer. Now I'm going to talk about some weird shots that are dependent on a goofy double bounce thing that happens. One is off this white platform. You just run forward and basically shoot it straight to the platform. And sometimes you'll get a double bounce, sometimes you won't. Sometimes it'll reset, sometimes it won't. It's a little tricky for me to make because I don't use it. But there you go. I guess 2/3 of the way over, you want to bounce it into the ground. You can get 6 points, 9 points, or 12 points depending on your bounce situation. I usually get the 6-ish, sometimes 9. But it's tricky for me to make. Like I said, I don't use it, I probably should. So there's another 9-pointer, so I definitely recommend you learn this one. I recommend you learn all of these just so you have shots from all over the map. But this is a pretty good one because it's pretty quick. And you're following the ball, so you'll be able to get it real easy if you miss. So like I said, learn that one. I'm trying to think of if there are any other shots that I know of. I don't think there is. I think I told you most of the most consistent shots in the game. Learn these and you're in pretty good shape, even if I did forget any. But in order of like priority, I would learn this one first. Easy 5-pointer because a lot of people use it. So I recommend that you learn it and learn how to defend it, which I'm going to tell you in a bit. I recommend that one, and then this one also you have to learn. I need to learn it, obviously. But you fall off the platform. Right as you fall off, you hit the trigger up towards the goal. And you can get 10 out of it if you do a little bounce off the edge. But I recommend you learn that one too. And then from there, I would learn this, the top one up here. And then your 15-pointer, super important. And that's pretty much it. You know, the 25-pointer you can try to learn, but you're rarely going to get an opportunity to use it because people are so good. So you can even get 20 points out of it if you don't bounce it off the edge. Okay, so those are your offensive shots. Now I want to talk about defense. I'm not going to be able to demonstrate very well, but I can explain to you the proper way to defend and you know, your best positioning and things like that. I'm not talking about a lot of strategy here because I want this to be more of a fundamentals and kind of a learning thing than, you know, strategy and all that. You know, you can take your time and figure out your own strategies and play style. I just want to give you the idea of how people are going to play so you can know what you're going to be up against in matchmaking. Okay, so now this shot right here, this 5-pointer that I missed, which is good because I want to it's kind of tricky to defend sometimes, but you can sit on this platform for a lot of your defending, and it just comes down to timing your jumps. Now I recommend, if they're playing this game where they jump, you jump, they jump, you jump, don't use your secondary jump until you're in the path of the ball, because that way, if they think you're falling down and they go to shoot, you can use your secondary jump to bounce up there. And if you miss your jump and you think they're going to shoot, down an A to get back on the platform and jump immediately again. You can defend that 5-pointer pretty good from that spot. The only thing I can think of, you know, that would be better is standing here and smashing the trigger to throw off the positioning of their shot. But I think that's a little more risky, just because they can drop down and go for another shot. If you're on that small platform, it's a great defensive position, because no matter what they shoot, you can jump towards the goal and defend. You can defend the high point shot from up here. If they line up here, just get ready for that. And if they might even run towards to try and take that shot, you can jump from here to a lot of defending shots. But you can also defend from here. It's just a little more difficult because you only have a small window that you're in front of the goal. So I recommend most of your defending come from here. Now, what'll happen sometimes is you'll get a guy who will play a game here. He'll do this jump, he'll drop down, fake like he's going to throw it here. That's when it becomes tricky, and you have to decide how to go about that yourself. I wouldn't bite. You know, if there's no fizz, you just kind of got to wait it out. If it's a really close game, I recommend just waiting, playing the game. And if you see an opportunity to dash in, well, not dash, to run in and try and steal, I would do it. But you got to be careful, because that's the way that they'll get you, is, you know, they'll jump, fake this shot, jump down, fall through, and score that way. So you have to be really careful when you're defending how you go about it. Without fizz, you have to be extremely cautious, so you don't give up big shots and things like that. You know, for no fizz, just keep your jumping on point and your defense, and be in good shape. Now, without fizz, or I mean with fizz, it's a whole different story, because you can play more aggressively, because you can make up your positioning with the dash. So let's say, for instance, that they go for that shot. They jump for this, right, and you come running over to try and defend that, to try and steal, but then they drop down. Once they drop down, you can dash back over here to be in position to defend. So dashing helps a lot. Like, even if you know they fall through the platform here, get this ball out of here. Fall through the platform, then come down here and go for a big shot. What you can do is, let's say you fall down and you try and defend, and maybe you don't get there in time. You have potential to dash up here and steal, or you know, intercept the ball in their shot. So the dash is a big deal in defense. You have to practice with it, learn how to control it, dash where you need to go. You can dash through purple, but you can't dash through white, obviously. Your fart dash is used to cover up a shit ton of ground. I wouldn't use the fart dash to defend so much as I would use it to attempt to get to your opponent. So if they're up top, I wouldn't try to come over here with a fart dash and defend. I would use it to try and get up to where they are, because it's easier to control if you're bouncing off the outside walls. So I recommend that you learn the dashing. Number one thing, you wiggle your stick, pull the trigger, and that's it. Left, right, left is all you need to charge. Left, right, left, and you have enough charge for a dash. Wiggle a little bit more and the dash goes further. But, you know, that's really up to you, how you want to do it. I find that, you know, quick charging it and just using it as a small dash helps a lot. But if you need to cover a lot of ground, you can either use the main dash with a big charge, or your wonderful, beloved fart dash. Okay, another thing you can do to defend this top shot is, if they go to shoot it, you can jump right here, because the ball has to go up top. It has to go high. See, you should be in good shape to defend. But like I said, most of it, I would definitely defend off of that small platform, because if they took that shot, you'd be in good shape to just jump up here and catch it right as it's going in. You know, there's that one, and if you stand here, they're going to have a tough time making the 15-pointer that they bounce off the top. You just have to be wary of the 15-pointer that you bounce off of this platform instead, the purple one here, because that will not bounce on your purple here. I think that's more a high-level shot, but you need to expect it anyways. But if that happens, you can still jump over here to defend and capture the ball before it goes into the goal. Another thing I want to point out is, if you're defending right, you can jump over to the goal, right? And if you catch the ball and it still goes in while you have it, you're walking it in for 1 point instead of giving up a 5 to 15 pointer. So learn all this stuff and just kind of practice it, whether it's in matchmaking or not. I think the way to go would be to learn all this, so that way you have the fundamentals in place and you can develop your own play style. So I think that's pretty much all I want to cover today. If I think of anything else, I'll make a new video with a whole bunch more tips, but if you learn all this stuff, you'll be in great shape. It's just a matter of practice and putting time in. If you need to practice, you can do it in local play. Just start a game by yourself and practice your shots. I recommend practicing from both sides, because you will end up on the red side at some point, and if you don't expect it, it'll be tough because you've never practiced shots from that side. So go ahead and learn all this stuff, and I hope to see you in matchmaking sometime soon.